Jeff Bezos moving to Miami didn't just save him money, it cost Washington State nearly $1 billion in lost tax revenue. But he's just the tip of the iceberg. Washingtonians are leaving. And I just dug through the 2025 migration report, and I'm just calling it the migration report. It was a bunch of different data, and the data was ugly. Budgets are bleeding, but if you think it's a mess and you should sell everything and run, you might miss out on one of the greatest opportunities to purchase around the Seattle Metro here in the last decade. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly who's leaving, where they're going, why they're leaving, and what our recalibration strategy is for staying here in the Seattle Metro while everyone else panics and runs away. Inside the data, you see the tale of two markets, a bifurcation of what's actually happening. When you look at the U-Haul data, it says number 7 growth state because it tracks DIY movers. We're talking about students and young people. But then all of a sudden I turn around and look at the United Vans data where 52% is outbound. Now that's money leaving the state because they can afford professional movers. The insight that I immediately see there is that Washington State is trading established tax-paying professionals for entry-level talent. We're importing potential and exporting wealth. And you see this showing up in the state budgets and in Seattle's budget, how we're missing revenue forecasts while they continue to overspend. Like, let's be honest here. And the politician's solution to this is then they want to raise taxes, which is not going to help the situation. I'm Anton Stettner, a real estate professional here in the Seattle Metro. We've sold thousands of homes here locally. We play all the games in real estate, and I love digging through the data. And I want to know if you're seeing a shift in your neighborhood, your friend group. Let us know in the comments by saying the word shift or hitting that subscribe button and following us along on the journey. I want to build a community here of like-minded individuals, like-minded investors, Washingtonians who want to stay and support the middle class. And together we're going to continue to look at the data and the headlines and talk about how we can grow and benefit as Washingtonians. First, let's look at the data as to where they're moving to, and then let's look at why they are leaving. According to the U-Haul Growth Index, Washington State is number 7 for inbound growth, and that's that strong flow of DIY movers, likely lower income, young professionals, students, people early in their career, the military. United Van Lines says 52% of the people are moving out of the state. We have more people leaving than arriving. That's corporate relocation, retirees, and the wealthies. Allied Van Lines said their top 5 outbound states were Illinois, California, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey as the major exodus states. And this is for more established families, more professionals. Pods, the top 5 outbound markets for them, was Seattle running away to the Sun Belt. These were mid-career professionals and people looking to start families and raise families in a more affordable environment. And the top 10 areas that we see the relocation to from the Seattle Metro, from Washington State, is to the Texas corridor. That's usually economic, asylum, and corporate relocation. And the data showed that Texas was the number 1 gainer of domestic migrants nationally in 2023 and 2024, a top destination for Washington residents in the census and in the moving data. Texas offers no state income tax, significant lower housing costs, and a business-friendly climate, and it has some of Washington State's political refugees. Arizona, they're moving there for the sun and the savings and the migration. Some of the data was showing that some of King County's luxury properties were then being repurchased as luxury properties in Scottsdale and Tucson, with micro destinations then being Phoenix and Mesa, primary job hubs absorbing thousands of former Washington residents who want the West Coast lifestyle without the West Coast price tag. Number 3 on the list was Idaho, the political and lifestyle retreat. What's interesting about Idaho is the move there has been primarily categorized as equity refugees. In other words, they've sold expensive homes here in Western Washington and then are buying larger properties in Idaho with cash. Unlike the migration to Texas, the move to Idaho is frequently driven by political and social values. The Carolinas, I'm talking both North Carolina and South Carolina. This is the new retirement, the new value haven. The primary driver of this has been those value arbitrage. Especially if they can do remote work from home, their equity will buy significantly more in the Carolinas. You're also seeing a big move to Tennessee, the no tax cultural alternative. And like Texas and like Washington, Tennessee has no state income tax on wages. It makes it very attractive to high earners. Number 6 on the list was Florida. That is the wealth flight. You're seeing Florida attract a very specific demographic of the ultra wealthy and retirees. We know that Jeff Bezos moved there. What's also interesting on the list, which actually I didn't expect, was number 7, the cross-border shuffle. Oregon. Some people are literally, they're just moving right out of Washington, right down the line. It is a top destination due to its proximity. Number 8 on the list is Nevada, the tax-free neighbor. This is a top destination for Washington moves. One of the primary drivers is that zero state income tax and a massively lower cost of housing relative to the Seattle metro. Number 9 on the list was Montana and the Mountain West. See, this is drawing those residents who like the outdoor amenities like we have here in the Cascades, but they don't want the density like we have here in the Seattle metro. Primary drivers of this have been Zoom towns, the communities that really boomed during the remote worker thing. And number 10 is the Intrastate. Now, the flight from Seattle is taking people just out of Seattle. It's taking them over to Bellevue. It's taking them to Snohomish County. It's taking them south to Pierce County and King County, and then of course further throughout the state to Spokane specifically and the Tri-City areas specifically. When they leave the metro and then go over to the east side, that is just a function of affordability. You have significantly lower cost of living in Eastern Washington, but the climate's a little bit harder, and the political climate is a lot more conservative over there in Eastern Washington. What's very interesting is when we look at this internal migration, it is driving up the cost in the secondary market while they export the affordability crisis due to the massive lack of supply here in Washington state. The triple threat that I believe the Seattle Metro is facing right now is 3 things. It's your wallet and the affordability. It's safety, and it's the politics. And this is what we see inside of the data. When you look at the median house price in King County, for example, you'll see it's around $850,000 versus the national number is $420,000. As people start to near retirement or they build up a lot of equity, one of the things they start thinking about with their primary residence is that married exemption only gets them $500,000 in tax-free capital gain. They start looking at that, and as that number starts to get bigger, they realize that the government is going to start taking a portion of that. As that number grows, they go, can I just move to another state and pay for the home in cash and not have to pay capital gains in order to move it? Point number 2, the safety. We know that the social contract here in the Seattle metro is broken right now. Crime is too high, even though the statistics show it's going down. Open drug use is just ridiculous. The homeless population is growing. And let's not, of course, mention the Seattle freeze, where the neighbor, the person walking by you down the street, doesn't always feel as friendly as they should. This is making that urban core just less sticky. And it came up multiple times, politics. Washington state has continued to shift more and more liberal and more progressive in their policies. That is causing political refugees to move to other states. What's changing for Washingtonians is the value proposition of living there. You have the affordability going down, you have costs rising, home costs rising, rents rising, and then safety going down, and they're just feeling of warmth and well-being going down. That causes the value of staying here to start to collapse for some people. So a percentage of our population is leaving. What is keeping Washington state growing right now? Washington state is actually only growing from foreign migration because we're losing so many Washingtonians to these other places that we had currently mentioned. And I personally love it here, even though this video seems a little bit doom and gloom. I am pushing back and fighting back for the middle class, for us to become a little bit more center. And I do love it here and plan on staying. And for those of us that plan on staying, I do believe this is creating a recalibration, an opportunity from this migration both inside the state and outside the state. Washington State experienced a population hypergrowth in the late 2000s, early 2010s that was just unsustainable. So we're kind of returning to reality. Also, tech isn't dead. Tech is just kind of resetting. AI is a new driver, and Microsoft and Amazon and our other tech companies are still major anchors here. The media would have you believe the situation is worse than it is. And as people move out of the area, this creates investment properties for people who are willing to put together creative deals that allow people time to move, extra time, more cash up front, various terms. Because when someone has to relocate out of the state, that is an amazing buying opportunity because they can't just immediately sell this home, pack up their whole family, and move out of the state. Also, we know that the supply here in Washington State is massively pinched. And because the supply is pinched, aka we're not building enough homes. And right now in the Seattle metro, where permits are down about 66% since their peak in 2021. That means we're going to run into a supply problem based on population in 2026 and 2027, which will cause rents to rise and home prices to rise. So part of this sounds scary, but I need you to understand that wealth is always made in the uncertain and the slightly scary times. That's why I believe this is an opportunity. Washington is going to lose some of their ultra wealthy, especially if we continue down this unfriendly business climate and this tax and spend mentality. We also have to get to be a little bit more to center. Otherwise, we're going to keep kicking out political refugees. And the city of Seattle's budget is totally messy right now, but understand because of the Growth Management Act, we have massively pinched supply. So there's massive value in the underlying asset of real estate and land here in the local area. And if you want to know the exact zip codes that we're investing in, that we're looking for our next deals in, just drop the word zip code below and we'll send you a list of zip codes that we're having conversations about. Also, if there's something we can do to help you here in Washington State in real estate, you can reach us at resg.com and feel free to look at the pinned comment above. Thanks for hanging out with us and talking about where Washingtonians are going, and hopefully some of you are staying to hang out with me.